Emotionally, like it moves a person from one place to another. It's like through grieving, it's like that's how we can let go of something. And so if you can move people, that's awesome.
Well, it's like I don't necessarily set out to say like I want to affect people, but I'm speaking from my heart and what's going on with me. And as it turns out that, as just a regular person, we're all going through the same things, and so
if you really feel it and you can like get in touch with those feelings, everybody moves. Not that you want to, like that's not, you don't want to go out, I mean, that's like interference, right? I want to go out there and move everybody, but if you feel something and someone else has an empathy with you, it releases them as well as yourself.
Right, and that's what I say, like, see, like, as artists, I think we need to start from the ground up, but from the inside out. We don't, it's like so many times as artists and things like, we got American Idol, and they're like, they're teaching us that we need to have our look down, we need to have all our external, and then feel it. Now give me the emotion, and it's like, no, it has to come from here.
And that means like what you experience, what you actually have courage to let yourself feel.
Yeah, and it's a very vulnerable state. It's a very scary thing.
To feel anything.
To allow yourself to feel that, and then show it to people. It's like, I'm just recently kind of like going through my own process of having really bad performance anxiety. I just really go through that. And I've had to. It's been really a healing process for me, becoming like public performer, because I've had to really look at myself and say like, well, what's that about? Where is that coming from? Like, and it does. You develop expectations, and you want it's kind of, and then there's the human side. We want to connect, we want to do all those things, but it really does keep you in check, and it's a humbling experience for me, So it's funny too, because I have different band members I'll connect with, and they'll say like, "Well, how do you want me to dress?" And I was like, "What?"
We're not about dressing here. Get the glitter out.
Yeah, right.
Get the rhinestones out.
So those kind of questions, but they're used to being treated like that by other other artists, and I just want it to be natural, and I want it to be regular. You know what I mean? And I want it to be accessible. So that's my intention, and that people could get something out of it. And the songs could mean something to them personally. And so.
Do you have any?
Slavery?
Slavery.
Yeah. Right.
So what's that about?
That was inspired by a movie called Zeitgeist.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever seen that.
I think I have.
It's a very intense documentary, drama documentary, and they kind of take you through some different processes of looking at religion, and then our money system, and then how it ties into our government, and those kind of things, and so it's a very harsh reality to look at, but I think it's one that in order for us to, bros, can you give me I'll break that stuff down here in a sec, those quarter inches and all that stuff. Yeah, I'll get it. Thank you. Sorry, it's breaking my stuff down while we're doing this. So I think that it's like we learn about the injustices in our society and what's going on, what are the things that our government's doing, and the first thing we want to do is we want to run out and do something.
Right.
And then when we realize that the machine is so large that we can't just run out and do something, we become we get discouraged.
We get paralyzed, you get overwhelmed. You're like, oh, I'm so powerless, and I'm so impotent and tiny and puny and
and so I thought about it. I said, you know what? The best thing that we can do as people is share these harsh realities with each other and be there for each other through that process of realizing that the system we're in is totally controlling and is holding us back. We have the technology and the ability to do everything we want to about global warming, about our energy crisis, about the food shortage, about healthcare. We have the ability and the means to do all those things. It's only our financial system that's stopping us. And those are major things.
I just interviewed another person, and he said distribution. It's a distribution. It's like it's all there, we have it. Let's just distribute it how it needs to be.
So I guess my idea is that just by sharing the information and just talking to each other, and once we change our reality that we know what's going on, then the change will follow suit naturally, you know. And it's a long process, and it's something that, you know, we want to just keep doing, because the other side of it, the other people that don't want us to do that want to keep their power centers in place, they're not going to stop doing what they're doing and lobbying and corrupting our media system with their ideas, you know. So we have to not stop either.
So it's really funny. I'm like looking at you with your little baseball hat. You look kind of country western cowboy,
Yeah.
so, you know, but you have kind of like a nice olive brown skin, right? So that kind of sets you off a little bit. But you look kind of like you would be pretty conservative, right?
Yeah.
But
well, my people are Mohawks. You know, we're kind of
fighters.
yeah, we're born and bred. We're so far left radical that we just, you know, it fell off the you know, thing.
But you know what? That so far left radical is really just the middle where we should be.
It's just a common ground,
yeah, exactly.
where people have to be responsible for their words and for their actions, and we're responsible to each other as a family.
To each other.
Yeah.
And I think that's like the big thing missing in this huge society, is that there's a whole lot of people who are not responsible with the people that they exist with.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I was reading that thing, is like they were saying that the only thing that they left out of the Constitution should have been or an amendment or whatever they said, is our responsibilities.
Yeah.
You know, not our rights, but first thing is, what is our responsibility?
Yeah.
You know,
and
what is our
existing.
responsibility to the earth and to each other?
I mean, we come here, we occupy this space. We occupy a space. It's up to us I don't feel like life owes me something. I feel like, and that means to be productive in a certain way, to be responsible for my actions as much as I can fathom, and to like occupy this space responsibly, you know. And sometimes it's really hard, and sometimes we're blind, and we're blinded by our circumstances.
Yeah, that's the idea. I mean, so in terms of like what's my music about, I guess that's what it's about. And then it's about, you know, for me, the ultimate goal of all of it is we get to the point where we can love each other and we can love the Creator, and that we can be in balance, you know. And there's nothing higher than that in my eyes, in my mind, in my heart.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Tell me one more time your name and your your potential website.
Potential website. My name is Jeremy Goodfeather, and the website is just goodfeather.net.